Right, Loli, I have been to Garabandal 3 times. And one time when I was there, I played a little recording of a song that all of you sang one time in Spanish, Blessed Mother. And it was translated into English, and the children of a St. Louis school, Florissant school, sang it, and you recognized it. When I played it in your father's store, or restaurant, you recognized it. Can you remember anything about the times that you sang these songs? You went to Mary Cruz's home and sang a song. Do you remember those things at all?
Yes, a little bit.
Did you make up those melodies, or how did you know what tune to sing them to?
I think we was just making it up.
Just made them up as you sang.
Yeah, we was.
Did you do it at any other time than just when you were going from house to house or home to home?
It was other songs that we made up too, that there was no for Marie Cruz, you know,
Oh.
for other things.
Uh-huh. Well, one time, the angel, after giving communion to you, mystical communion, he asked you to say the soul of Christ, Anima Christi Sanctifica Me, and you recited that. Where did you ever learn that? How did you know that prayer? Because you were only 12 years old. You must have learned it in school or at home, or did the angel teach you that prayer?
He teach us.
He taught you the prayer.
The prayer, yes.
That was a prayer composed by St. Ignatius Loyola at one time,
Yes.
and it is given in the sacramentary. And I was wondering how in the world your children learned it at that age. I don't know what it would be in Spanish, but it's Soul of Christ Sanctify Me.
Alma Cristo Sanctifica.
You see that as the Thanksgiving prayer after Holy Communion. Fine. Do you remember anything about the death of Father Luis Andreu? Can you tell us? You didn't. He saw the same apparition or ecstasy that you saw, didn't he?
I think he saw the miracle.
And you saw him during the ecstasy,
During the
which you
ecstasy.
ordinarily didn't do. You didn't see anybody but the ecstasy.
Mhm.
But that time you saw him
We
too.
saw him,
Do you know? Did he speak about that to you afterwards, before he died, about what he saw in the miracle?
yes. No, he not say nothing, but I remember that day I had a rosary. It was Father Luis's rosary, and I lost it during the apparition.
Oh yeah.
And then I said to him, and we asked to the Blessed Mother in the next apparition where the rosary is. And if she tells me, I will get it, give it to you. And he said, you give it to my brother because I not be back.
Is that right?
But I not so much at that time, maybe because I was so young.
Yes, that's
He
right.
just told me to give it to his brother. And I remember, I think the day after, I was cleaning the church, I think it was Jacinta. And Jacinta's mother got there and she said, we just heard Father Luis die. And then came to me and said, oh, maybe that's why he told me.
And he wouldn't come back.
He will not come back. I just thought that maybe he will not come back in a long time. But I not thought it was gonna be, he will never come
So you
back.
think he might have had some presentiment, some foreknowledge that he was going to
Okay, he
die?
was gonna die.
All right. Did you know his other brothers? Father
Yes.
Ramon, you knew them.
Father Ramon. The other ones I know them later.
I see.
They went to Garabandal.
And after his death, you did hear his voice. All of you heard his voice.
Yes.
And did he tell you anything that would apply, that we would like to know, or was it just for his own brother?
Well, one of the things that I remember is he told me to tell his brother that what he was praying for will be granted to him, to Father Ramon, what he was praying
What
for.
Father Ramon was praying for, he would get.
He will get it. So I wrote to him in the same hand this. I don't know if it was other things, but I remember this thing concrete. And then later on I found out that what Father Ramon was praying for, it was the conversion of the German man that was a friend, you know, Massimo Fosle. You know, the German man that got converted in Garabandal. He got baptized.
I didn't hear about that. Oh, that German
the
man.
brown
Firstler.
Firstler. Yes.
Baptism. Oh, yeah.
That's what he was praying about it. And he was at that time doing spiritual exercise
Retreat.
in a retreat in San Ignacio de
Right.
Loyola.
Yeah.
And at that time is when he decided he was gonna be converted.
Oh, yeah. And Father Andre knew that. I mean, Father Luis knew
Father
it.
no,
He said you
Luis
should
told
go.
me that Father Ramon what he was praying for.
Did you ever visit the grave of Father Luis after his burial?
Yes, one time.
Are you convinced, or do you feel that his body was really buried there in that cemetery, little place in the Jesuit house?
That's what I thought, but I don't know.
The reason I'm asking, and maybe you can throw some light on this, there's quite a bit of discussion as to whether or not Father Luis was buried there, because at least I think Conchita has said that on the day after the miracle, his body will be found incorrupt. Now, they exhumed the body, they took the body up when they moved that cemetery, and it was already corrupt. And then Conchita is quoted as saying, she didn't say it would be found incorrupt now, but after the miracle, it'll be found incorrupt. Then when this was quoted back to her, I may be wrong, I think she said that wasn't his body that they exhumed. He wasn't buried there at all.
I don't know.
You didn't know that? Well, I don't think we pursue that any further then, but it was just interesting to know. Do you remember, could you say, what was happening when all of you were heard screaming those 2 nights? The people down at the church heard all of you, 4 of you up at the Pines or at the Quadro speaking, and you said, don't let it happen to the children. What was happening that you didn't want to happen to the children? Have you any memory of that?
I think it was the punishment.
In the what?
The punishment.
Oh, the punishment. You think that was the punishment?
Yeah.
The answer given was they will be adults. They won't be children anymore by that time. So when the punishment comes, are you using the word punishment for the chastisement, not for the warning and the miracle, but the chastisement?
The chastisement.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You did attend Father Luis's Mass in the parish church, I guess.
Yes.
Can you describe that or tell us what was there anything special about that Mass?
Well, I remember he was like very intense, and he was like sweating during the Mass, like he was living this Mass or something special about it. But it's nothing.
When you were at that age, did you go yourself to daily Mass? Did you go every day to Mass? I know you had to work in the restaurant.
Every day there was Mass because they not used to be
Oh, that's right. You
had
didn't have
Mass
dailies.
every day in Garabandal.
Oh, yeah. You would go when they would have it, like Fridays or Tuesdays or
Yes.
Saturdays, whenever. Okay. Did the Blessed Mother say anything to you other than to pray for priests? I know she did make that statement, that's in the message, to pray for priests. She didn't enlarge on that or say in what way you were to pray for priests. You know, one of the results of the Garabandal movement is that there are centers organized like the one here in Columbus in which they meet and pray for priests. Did the Blessed Mother emphasize that very much?
Very much.
She must have. Would you have done that without the ecstasies or the apparitions, as just as children growing up in Garabandal?
I don't think so, because I always looked, I thought the priest was not near no prayers.
Oh,
I thought
see.
they was already holy.
Oh, I see. And you found out differently.
Well, no, I mean, the Blessed Mother said to pray, I mean, it's for them,
Right.
like for anybody else to be.
How many priests did
Good.
you know? There was only the one that came up from Cosil.
Yes.
Know any others?
Well, it was another one that was from Garabandal. But he was in a different town, but he was, his mother or somebody was from Garabandal.
They came from the town.
Yes, is now the priest of Garabandal right now.
Oh, he's a native of Garabandal,
He right
and
now
now
is
he's the pastor of
the
Garabandal.
pastor of Garabandal.
Does he still ride his motorcycle up to the church, or how does he come up?
I think he has a car.
That's a car now. He's progressing. Well, you have a better road now. You can come up on that. You can come up on his motorcycle. When you went down to the village sometimes for bread, took the donkey,
Yes.
how often did you have to go down? Every day?
Every day, sometimes twice a day.
Twice a day. You walk down and walk back, or did you ride the donkey part of the time?
Oh no, I was not in the donkey, I was
Yeah,
to pray.
Did you bring the mail up too? Or who brought the mail up?
Sometimes I used to pray, sometimes other people used to pray.